What is up, everybody? This is Terminator Juice, and welcome to the Juice Rant. This is, I believe, my second Juice Rant. And if you haven't watched the previous one, this isn't your typical angry, yelling rant. It's just not my style. I really don't get too angry or mad at anything, really. But there was enough here for me to actually make a video about, based on the amiibos, the GameCube adapter shortages, and now finding out that Pikmin 3 is now hard to find. But before I get into all that, we had some news happen today. Everyone's kind of jumping to conclusions already, and that's the Splatoon info that was translated on NG4 or something like that. I'm going to talk about that real quick. Not going to rant about what was said, more about how people are reacting. And I picked three things that people are kind of jumping on. And I just wanted to first say, none of this has been confirmed by Nintendo. Secondly, this has been translated. We don't know how accurate things are, or if anything's been lost in translation. So I'm going to take it with a grain of salt at this point. But what I am going to do is I'm going to take what was said and how people are reacting to it and kind of give my thoughts. Someone might say damage control, but this is how I view things. This is how I've always approached things. I always try to look at things logically and not use emotions and all that. So the first thing, the matchmaking, it's worldwide. I see some people upset that there's no option to have it regional for lag and all that. So it says specifically, now I'm taking these translated things as they are. So if they're correct, it specifically says random matchmaking is worldwide. So is that purposely added, or was that just part of the translation? If it was purposely specifically pointed out random, then that tells me there's probably a custom, like Mario Kart 8 has, or there's probably a friends. We don't know. So to be upset or talking about the fact that it's only worldwide, let's wait to find out if there's a custom option where you can set parameters. But just the random part, which it specifically says random matchmaking, it's only going to put you in a pool worldwide, So let's see if there's other matchmaking options. If there isn't, and it's just that one, okay. Once that's confirmed, fine. Then I think, that's worth being upset about. The second one, and this one actually floored me that people were upset about this. I saw a post on VG Charts forum or something, and I thought everyone was just going to be like, what the hell are you talking about, dude? And people were agreeing with it. And that's the no CPU players. And it says only once there's 8 players, the match will begin. Obviously, this is referring to the online mode. And it's referring to the matchmaking because it followed the matchmaking part. So everyone's talking about, oh my God, there's no bots. I want to play against the CPU. I want to do this. I want to do that. First of all, Call of Duty doesn't have bots. When you get matched up, no one wants bots in Call of Duty because that's Titanfall. Everyone hates the bots in Titanfall, including me. Why do you suddenly want bots in Splatoon? That makes no sense. I think that's a case of complaining just for the sake of complaining. Battlefield doesn't have bots. Most of these games don't have bots. What they should be focusing on is this confirms there won't be 3-on-4 games. There won't be 3-on-3 matches, 2-on-3, 2-on-4. This confirms it will be 4-on-4 only. According to this, only once there's 8 players in the lobby will the match begin. So the only thing this confirms, and the only thing people should be talking about, is how you can't have a match with 3-on-4, which is a good thing for this type of game where you're spreading ink. Why it would just be unfair to have uneven numbers. The fact that there's no bots in the online matchmaking, you guys, that is not a reason to be mad, and you wouldn't be mad. Call of Duty, no one's ever had bots in an online game except Titanfall, and no one likes the freaking bots in Titanfall. So why are you upset that there's no CPU players in Splatoon's online mode? It doesn't say anything about offline. It doesn't say anything about the local co-op or local multiplayer. That's just the online part doesn't have CPU. No freaking online game, no shooter has CPUs other than Titanfall. And like I've said 3 times now, no one likes the stupid bots in Titanfall. So that one just baffles me that people even thought that was an issue. But it is good to know that it's only going to be 4-on-4, so you don't have to worry about being stuck on a team with 3 players against 4. So I think that for me, I was like, cool, you know. So we don't know. There might be bots in an offline training mode or something. So this is just specifically was referring to online. So like I said before, just wait and see. This could be mistranslated. It could be only half the story. We don't know. So, and the last thing, the no communication with match players. It's weird that they'd word it that way, since they've talked about random matchmaking and the 8 players are all humans. Now they're saying no communication with match players. Does that mean no communication with random match players? We don't know. This is another one. Let's wait for confirmation. Personally, I never enjoy talking to randoms on Call of Duty or any of those types of games. If this is confirmed, no communication in the game at all, okay, that's something that needs to be talked about. We can be upset about. But if it specifically says with match players, so that's where it leaves open a question mark for me. Is that only with randoms? Is there a friends lobby? Is there a friends group? Is there a custom lobby where you can set the parameters? Yeah, I want to only be grouped up with friends or people from my state or whatever. We don't know the options. Maybe there's communication there. Maybe there isn't. Let's wait for confirmation before we get too upset about that. I think Splatoon should have voice chat, but like I said, I don't want to talk to random people, and I'm not upset about that part. But now if it's a friends lobby and you have the option to get together with friends and there's no way to communicate with them in the game, okay, then I'll be upset about it. I was quoted last year saying that I won't buy Splatoon if it doesn't have voice chat, and I would hold to that, except for things have changed now. Now there's a single player mode. Now there's offline local multiplayer. So there's other reasons to get the game, and I'm super excited about the hero single player mode, where it's mostly a 3D platformer using the squid to human transformation, probably to solve a lot of platforming puzzles or to navigate. I'm really excited about that. So, but let's wait and see. Let's get confirmation. If there's no voice chat with friends, okay, then we can get upset. I think that's going to be crap, and it's going to really probably kill off a lot of the hype that people have for this game. But at this point, it just says with match players. Could be just meaning the random players. We don't know. Let's wait for confirmation. If it's true, though, I agree. That is a missed opportunity for this game, but I'm not ready to say that absolutely there's no voice chat in the game at all at this point, based on what the information we have. So we need some more information. Also, I said when I said that I wouldn't buy the game if it doesn't have voice chat, kind of with that, which I never spoke about, but I could get by without the voice chat because of Google Hangouts, because of Skype, because I can talk to my friends on the phone, with earbuds in. There's one thing, if it doesn't have, though, I definitely will pass on the game. If it doesn't have a way to easily join up with your friends, start a group, get 3 people in there, invites, join game option, some way to easily get together with friends and play. Let's say you have 8 friends and you want to do a 4-on-4. If there's no good way or easy way to do that easily within the Wii U without having to use text messaging and all that, then that on top of no voice chat would be, I would not buy the game. If it's like just playing random matches like the old Mario Kart Wii and Smash Brawl, which is random matches with random people and you can never talk to them. Yeah, if that's all there is to the online of Splatoon, which I don't think it will, I think there'll be a lot more options than what we know about. But if it was just bare bones like that, I would definitely skip. I would pass on this game. But the voice chat alone isn't enough. If there's a really good invite system or a way for friends to get together in a lobby and play, that would make up for not having voice chat for me. Of course, if it had both, that would be perfect, and I think the game would the hype would build back up, and I think people would be excited for the game again. So, but like I said, let's wait for confirmation. Let's not get all jump into conclusions and all that. So more of that part was just more on people, how they're reacting to, less about the information and more how people have been reacting to it. So let's get on to the main reason for the rant. You know, I use quotations. It's not really a rant. I'm not mad. I just have some things that happened and some information I learned today. And I actually have a solution, an idea that could possibly solve the problems with all these shortages and all these high prices by scalpers for these hard to find items. But I do want to point out that this does not include collector's editions. They're called collector's editions for a reason. And PM Prime made the perfect video called Limited Crying Edition. And I agree with him 100%. If there's something's a collector's edition, it should be limited. It should be hard to find. You should have to work to get it. So what I'm about to say does not include those types of things. The Majora's Mask 3DS, not included in this. The Skull Kid Majora's Mask Edition, not included in this. Those are special collector's editions, and they should be limited. What I'm talking about is things that should be readily available, and they're not. And because they're not, for double the value or close to that on eBay, on Amazon, through their sellers. And I think that's a problem, and it's a growing problem, and I think it needs to be addressed, and Nintendo should have had a solution already in place, especially for the GameCube controller adapters. It's been over 2 months. My GameStop has not had any since, like, they got 2 or 3 from pre-orders on launch day, and they've not had any in their store in 2 months. So, you know, there's third-party options. There's some off-market or off-brand ones coming out that work apparently, and they're selling between $35, $45, and they're selling out quick. So I'm not mad because it's Nintendo's money, but I don't like the whole scalpers are making a lot of money off these things, the ones that can find them. And here, the GameCube adapter is a little bit different than any of the other ones because, you know, they had the bundles, they had the pre-orders. I'm sure there wasn't a ton of people pre-ordering the GameCube controller adapter because, like myself, I got the Pro controller. I didn't think I'd want one, and I thought they'd just be readily available. So the problem was they underestimated the demand. There was probably not a lot of pre-orders for them. But the problem I have is they didn't find a solution right away when they were running out of stock immediately. And they have to know that they're going for $80 to $100 on eBay. Why not just go ahead and put open pre-orders out there, a back order list? All right, Amazon, Best Buy, everybody, just take as many orders as you get. See how many there are. If there's 500,000, then make 500,000 at least, or make 700,000, and tell people it'll be 2 weeks or whatever, and manufacture them and deliver them. Now, if they would have did that right away, we wouldn't be in this situation right now, but I think it's getting to the point of being too late to do that with these other options out there now. And I think eventually you'll start seeing them as people finally stop looking for them. You might see them in the stores, and in 6 months' time, it won't even be an issue finding one. But I think they should have jumped right on it right away and just had an open and just let them back order and see how many they got, so they would have had an idea what the demand is. If it was 100,000, you know, or 1 million, you know, they have no idea at this point, and the scalpers are the ones making a bunch of money off it. And, you know, you got to blame the people buying them too, because, you know, you're not helping if you go out and buy one of these things for $80 or $100. You're really not helping the cause. So that one's a little different. The amiibos, though, we knew that they knew there was going to be waves of them, and the first wave was months in advance. You could pre-order. I pre-ordered Wii Fit Trainer, Marth, and Samus. And when they came out, I got them shipped to my house, and I got them no problem. I went to the store. I seen Marth, Wii Fit Trainer, seen all of them available. It wasn't until people started snagging them up and they became pretty popular that you know, we had this issue. But they knew Wave 2 was coming. They knew Wave 3 was coming. Do the same thing I suggested with the GameCube adapters. Just have an open pre-order. for what were some of the more rare ones? Little Mac, Captain Falcon. Just let people pre-order them to their heart's content. If you have 100,000 Captain Falcons pre-ordered, make 100,000 or make 150,000. You're going to sell them. So there's no, yeah, you might end up with 20,000 on the shelves that don't sell right away, but at least have an open pre-order. Don't have limited pre-orders where you only have the pre-orders open for a couple hours. That tells me you've already made, in your mind, you already know how many you want to make. Let the pre-orders tell you, because now that amiibos are popular, people are going to be pre-ordering them more than the games and stuff. If 500,000 people pre-ordered Rosalina and Luma, then make 500,000 at least. Obviously you'd want to make more. Make 500, make the pre-orders, and then add to that what you were going to thought you were going to stock anyway. If it was 100,000 or 50,000, I don't understand why they're just limiting the pre-orders to what the stock that they want to make, instead of just letting people tell them how many they should be making. And Wave 4 is coming. There's no release month or anything. The pre-order should be there already. You should be able to pre-order Lucina, Pac-Man, all them. What if Lucina has 800,000 pre-orders? Then you're going to sell 800,000 at least. That's more money for them. That takes away all the high scalping that's going on for that. If it's a rare item, it's a rare item now, but you take away the rareness of it by having pre-orders for it. Open the pre-orders up before you manufacture them. That way you know how many you should make. And I think that's a pretty decent solution. Yeah, it's not perfect. They might have 800,000 pre-orders for Lucina because everyone pre-orders them thinking they're going to be rare still, and then they're in the stores, and you might end up with ones that don't sell. But would you rather have 800,000 pre-orders, sell most of those, or only manufacture 100,000 and sell those, and then the scalpers make all the money off them? So I think that's a solution. Obviously Nintendo doesn't, otherwise they'd be doing that. The Majora's Mask Collector's Edition, they had a number in their mind. They wanted to keep it a limited edition. That's fine. But an amiibo, it's not a collector's edition. It's just it's a Rosalina amiibo. Let the pre-orders dictate how many you manufacture. You should always add more. Obviously, the pre-orders, if they were at 100,000, you should make maybe 150,000 or something, because you always want some in the stores. I mean, how many sales did they lose out on ones that just weren't at the stores and people didn't buy them because they couldn't find them? So, and it also turns people off to the whole amiibo. Like myself, I was in Target the other day. I was like, I'll just see if they have any, just for shits and giggles. And of course they had a spot that would hold 4 Rosalinas and they were gone. And I'm just like, well, if they had one, I would have bought it. They don't, I'm not going to buy it. So I'm done looking. I'm not going to go on eBay. I'm not going to go anywhere. I'm done. I'll never look for a Rosalina amiibo again. And I'm sure there's a lot of people like that. So, and the last thing that kind of prompted this was there was a troll in the Wii U 3DS community somewhere. I don't think it was the Active Gamer Life's community. He said this person's claimed they bought a Wii U and they were having trouble finding any games in the stores. And he specifically pointed to Pikmin 3. And I immediately was replying, "Oh, you're an idiot here. I was going to link them Amazon." I go to Amazon, Pikmin 3, $84.99. And I look at all the ones new, and they're ranging between $75 and $90. They're all from other sellers. Amazon doesn't have any in stock. And I'm like, what the hell? Why is Pikmin 3? This game sold 1 million copies. It's a year and a half old. Why is this in short supply? So I was a little disappointed. I looked at all the other games. I mean, Wonderful 101 still available. Donkey Kong still available. All the other games are still available, but Pikmin 3, and that's Miyamoto's game. That was one of the first big games to hit Wii U after that drought, and people are still interested in it. It's not going to be selling like crazy, but the fact that they don't have any, Target.com out of stock, Best Buy out of stock, Amazon didn't list any other than from their various sellers selling them, for jacked up prices. So just that kind of surprised me, and I think I'm a little taken back that game's no longer available, considering, and this is a counter to Dr. Feelgood's statement that Nintendo doesn't produce many quantities of their games. Kirby's Epic Yarn, I seen it at a store called Myers. I seen them at Walmart, and I seen it at Target. Still in stock for the Wii. Super Smash Bros. Brawl, still everywhere I go, still available, $29.99. Super Mario Galaxy. You know what? There was a couple other Wii games. You always can find those games like Skyward Sword, Twilight Princess. You'll still be able to get those games on Amazon and stuff. So it's just weird, and those are 5-6 years old. You never have a problem finding Nintendo first-party titles. So it was just a little odd, I thought, that Pikmin 3 was not available, and maybe it's just they just ran out and they're producing them right now. I don't know, but I thought it was enough to warrant making the video on top of the Amiibos and the GameCube adapters, which I haven't really spoke upon in a while. So, you know, like I said, Amiibos, just let us pre-order as many as there is, then manufacture that many plus 20% or something. GameCube adapters, they should have already had that solution. They should have already manufactured a ton of them. For $20, I'm sure they're not making a lot on them, but I'm sure also they're not spending much to make them. So it should be worth making. And if you have a few hundred or 10,000 sitting on the shelf for the rest of the year, oh well. You got a bunch of happy customers, and you reduce the scalping that's going on. So that's just my take on it. I'm going to check to see if there's any questions. I did have the Q&A app open. I'll answer any that are related to the topic at hand. So let's see. Teresa Hammond. Oh, you asked to. Maybe I'll read this one first. If voice chat was excluded entirely from Splatoon, do you think enough of the backlash or lack of sales could convince Nintendo to patch the game, or do you think they just consider the game a flop and stop supporting it beyond the basic online? I don't think they would patch in voice chat, honestly. But the game's got at least 3 months development time left. I'm sure they're debugging it and stuff, but if enough people voice their opinion now, they should be able to implement it still. But and then to put your previous question another way, do you think Splatoon is just Nintendo testing the waters, or do you think they feel they need this genre of game, and will they support it until it's successful? I don't think they're going to give up on it, but Mario Kart 8, a lot of people thought, well, once it comes out, maybe they'll add the ability to talk to your friends in tournament modes. Maybe they'll add this and that. Other than some DLC, they didn't add jack. So I wouldn't count on them really adding anything major like that other than new maps and maybe another game mode. I would be surprised if they would add voice chat after the fact. I think if they were going to do it, they should be doing it, or it should already be in there. But like I said, I don't know if you caught the beginning, there's no confirmation that there's absolutely no voice chat in the game. We just know there's no communication with matched players, which could be the randoms, and the translation could be off. We don't know. So, but we'll have to wait and see. Again, let's just wait for confirmation and then decide to start petitions and all of that, operations and all that. So Operation Splatoon voice chat or something. I'm sure we'll come up with something, but let's wait to get official confirmation. So yeah, that's about it. And I did want to add that Pikmin 3 story, that guy was obviously a troll. He was mentioning wanting to buy a second gamepad and couldn't find one, and once that stuff started flying, I knew he was a troll. But the Pikmin 3 thing was true. You can't find it unless you want to pay $80-$90 for it. And to the people that say, oh, you can just download it, that was my first thought. I'd say 90% of gamers, they don't want a full retail game downloaded. Most people I've had on my podcast, I'm the only one that really downloads these full retail games, and I'm going to stop doing that once the Digital Deluxe program ends. And I'm already kind of regretting having some of those games digitally. I do wish I had the physical copy for later down the road, years later, but it's so convenient to have the digital one. So, but yeah, that you can get Pikmin 3 on the eShop, no question about it, but that's not a good reason to stop making the physical copies. So they need to fix that. They need to get the GameCube adapters in the stores, and they need to really rethink this amiibo thing. I know the sales have been great, and it's, you know, people flock to the stores to pick up Rosalina. I guess there's people waiting in line in the morning, but it's an amiibo. It's a $13 figure. It shouldn't be like that. I should be able to go in their store right now and get a Captain Falcon and a Rosalina if I wanted to. That's just money they're not making, and I know it's Nintendo's money, not mine, so why do I care? But I just think it's a solution to that could really, you know, benefit a lot of people and really hurt the black market scalpers, who I don't have any respect for. I have Marth and Wii Fit Trainer, if you can see them, and I'm not going to throw them on eBay. I could probably pay for all my other amiibos by selling Marth, but I didn't buy it to sell it. I'm not going to take advantage of people. If I actually found Rosalina, I was actually going to do a giveaway and just give it away. Like, I might have, if there was two, I probably would have bought one for myself. But I have no real attachment to the amiibos at this point. So that's just how I look at it. And that's pretty much it. That's, you know, I had that Splatoon topic come out of nowhere. So I thought I'd talk about that. I got a few more questions here. Active Gamer Life, what were your thoughts on my latest video? I asked because I'd like to hear your thoughts in a video since you are currently available. LOL. I thought it was very interesting. I never put that together, that the Wii U games, there's almost always a game on the 3DS came out before. I know 3D World was kind of or 3D Land, I mean, the 3DS needed a game, and they needed a good game, so they put their #1 Mario team to making a 3DS game, and that was going to be the Wii U game originally, and then they just made it work for the 3DS. I don't know if that game was like a single development cycle, like, okay, let's make 3D Land, then 3D World, but the way 3D World came out, what, 2 years later, a year and a half later? But the other ones make complete sense, like Donkey Kong Country Returns coming out right around Tropical Freeze, Mario Kart 7, Mario Kart 8. It is an interesting thought, and maybe it is a way, but they also have to recoup some of the 3DS money, but I'm sure that's way less of an investment. But yeah, you know, Smash for sure. That was a one development, so like that budget. They had the 3DS, Wii U. They made them simultaneously, and maybe they'll do that more in the future. I don't know, because the 3D Land and Donkey Kong, those all came out, you know, well later after the 3DS version, so it wasn't exactly the same. I don't know if they had just one budget and all that, but I thought it was a good video. You and Mr. T both had great insight. His Revolution versus Evolution video, and your, you know, recouping sales with the 3DS version video. Those things I never thought of, and so I thought it was a great video. I liked it, and gave you the thumbs up for it. So if anybody hasn't seen that, it's really interesting. And I gotta say, about 2 minutes of it, I completely zoned out and was watching you play Metroid Prime when you were taking out the space pirates with the forget the electric, what do they call that, the beam, might just be the electric beam, I forget. I haven't got that unlocked yet, and it's been so long since I played that one, but I was like totally zoned out watching you take the space pirates and get the thermal visor, that I actually had to rewind a spot because I totally missed what you had said. But I should be playing that right now, but I'll be doing that in a second once I end this video. And I also have some other Metroid news. I picked up a game. I ordered it. It shipped today, and I'll do a fresh juice because I got a couple things. And Red Knight you'll be interested to see what I got. It's something I've never played, and I've had an opinion on it. And I feel like since I never played it, I shouldn't have ever talked about it because I was just taking what other people had said, and I want to get my own impressions. So I'm sure you figured it out by now, but I'm going to wait and not spoil it for everyone else. And Teresa just said, yeah, she knew that the voice chat thing wasn't confirmed to not be there officially, so she was asking hypothetically with her question. So yeah, I mean, I think that's it. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go. I got to watch last night's Flash episode. I missed it because I was doing Mega Gamers podcast, so I'm gonna go watch that. Play some Metroid Prime and get ready for Arrow tonight. So you guys won't. If you're fans of Arrow, you won't be offended for me wanting to end this now so I can take care of stuff and not miss that episode because it looks pretty awesome. So that's going to be it. I gave you guys another 30 seconds, see if any more questions come in because I just had a couple more people join. But go back, watch the replay. Tell me what you think. Am I damage controlling with the Splatoon stuff? I think I'm just looking at it logically and I don't jump to conclusions. So I'm not going to do that now suddenly. So we'll see. I just want to wait and see what happens. And if we get confirmation and there's things missing that I think need to be there, like I said, then that game's going to be a missed opportunity in my mind. So Mega Gamer Man just chimed in. This will be the last thing I read, then I'm going to go. He says, I hate these scalpers and they make these games and amiibos but don't supply. I never knew Nintendo said limited edition to everything. Yeah, that was my point. The Majora's Mask thing, collector's edition, you labeled it right on the box. That's fine. Be limited. Amiibos should not. There shouldn't be limited editions unless you specifically put on the box, hey, limited collector's edition amiibo. If it's just an amiibo, it should be there, and we should have the option to back order them. I should be able to go to Nintendo store.com, whatever. I forget exactly what it's when you type it up. Just go to Nintendo.com, then scroll to the bottom, go to the store. I should be able to back order any amiibo I want, and you should be able to manufacture and send it to me. Case closed. End of story. You know, I don't know why that's so hard. I know they probably want to mass produce them, but just let us back order them. Just let us back order the GameCube adapter on your website, on Amazon's website, Best Buy. Just let us back order it and ship it when you get it. I did that for the high capacity battery. It was on back order for like 3 weeks. Just let us do that with GameCube adapters and amiibos. I don't see why that's a harm, you know, to say, okay, if it was only one person back ordered, say, all right, this is not going to be available. But if thousands of people back order them, then make them. It's just that simple. And Active Gamer Life agrees that it's far too early on the no voice chat. Like I said, we don't know what that translation meant. We have no idea. They did specifically say they tried to do some kind of commands feature, like kind of like the taunts in Smash Brothers, I'm thinking, where you could select a command, and that didn't work because the action's too fast paced to like be scrolling through, like, hey, go over here. They did confirm that. I do believe that mode that is not going to be in there. That just sounds like, you know, they gave it a try, but that sounds terrible to be playing a game like that and have to pick from preset words to try to help, you know. So that maybe that's what they meant with no communication. We'll see. I have a feeling it won't be there for randoms 100%. I feel that there won't be communication, voice chat, or anything with random people. But if there's not with friends, then I think that's where the problem will be. And Active, he basically just said what I just said. First, it was a translation, and that sounded like talking with randoms was a no, but nothing about friends. Yeah, like if you go back and if you didn't catch the beginning, they specifically said random matchmaking. They didn't talk about custom matchmaking. They didn't talk about friend matchmaking. So we'll have to see. I'm just going to wait and see. That's basically the whole gist of everything I've said in the beginning. So, all right. Appreciate everybody for watching. I didn't want to make this even this long. I bumped up the time just so I could, like I said, watch Flash and play some Metroid and get ready for Arrow tonight. So appreciate everyone for watching as usual. Look for Juices Loose number 35 next week. Maybe we'll hit these topics a little bit more. Mega Gamer definitely going to be a guest. I already told him he could be on, and he wanted to talk a little bit about this, the limited supply stuff as well. So if anybody else is interested, I'm going to try to get ASAP Rel definitely going to be on, because last week he was going to be on and then kind of got pushed because I had too many guests. So we'll see. But you know, maybe we'll talk about all this then. Maybe we'll have more confirmation by then. We'll see. But anyway, it's been Terminator Juice. Juice Rant, my number 2 Juice Rant. Go back, watch my first one. It was related to Bayonetta. People were talking about it flopped after the Japanese sales came out or something like that. So anyway, I'm going to end this right now and go play some games and watch some Arrow and Flash. And everybody else have a great night. And we'll see you on the next video.